Basically, we cover everything from from design classes, typography classes, illustration classes, image editing classes, which is our Photoshop classes, so we can edit photos. We have a full range of printing classes, including car wrapping. So if you're interested in car wrapping, we have classes for that. But basically, it covers the gamut. So if the students graduating, they'll know how to do everything from logo design up through billboard design to brochure ads, anything dealing with graphics, T-shirt design, you name it. So basically, that I teach in the area of graphic design. It's going to be the things that we like for our students to go out to do would be actually working at an ad agency would be the ultimate job you would hope they would get, but obviously that's going to take a little bit more education. We always tell the students they should keep going, get their bachelor's, get their master's if they want, and just keep going. But ad agency situations, it could also be sign companies. It could be anything that's dealing with graphics, T-shirt shops, printing organizations, pre-press and printing. A lot of our students go out and they freelance to earn to actually start their business out and hopefully get a good base of clients that they can work with over the years, that sort of thing. But it's pretty exciting, to be in this area. So
I chose it because I had taken a design program or a design class in high school and I really just enjoyed it. So I figured why not continue with it?
Because I wanted to be in a field that was creative, and it's something I like to do, something I've always dabbled in, just not professionally.
I guess I didn't really talk to many other students, like former students that have been in the program. But I would say like keeping up with the homework is very important because everything branches off of what you previously learned.
I actually haven't, because as you can tell, I'm not your traditional student. I haven't really met with a lot of the students. Although I do have a son who is kind of following the same kind of program, and he's just said just enjoy it. Don't treat it as school, just kind of enjoy what you're doing.
Mostly individual projects, but we work a lot in groups with critiquing each other's work and giving feedback because ultimately that's what we're going to be doing in the future. So
Three that we've been working with so far is InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop.
I'm not 100% sure if there's going to be a lot of it or not, but I hope so because that'll help us in the future, us as students, getting to work with actual clients while we're still in like a learning environment.
yeah, we do. We have an internship program, and which is pretty obvious. But students still can go out and talk to individual companies and businesses and say, well, I'd like to redesign your logo or letterhead, business card, envelope, that sort of thing. It won't cost you anything. It's just for a class or whatever, that sort of thing. So in a way, it's getting them acclimated to the idea of working with clients, real clients, and being able to show their portfolios of their work and being able to feel comfortable with interviewing and that sort of thing. So we think that's a real plus, a real positive thing. But yeah, we do have internship programs that will put the student in charge of certain projects. We don't typically do projects that are for paid clients. In other words, we want to take on the nonprofits, and that way we're not really taking work away from agencies and art departments and companies that hire our students to do that sort of thing. So. It really varies depending on where you go. We always encourage students to travel wherever the work is. That might be New York, it might be LA, San Francisco, Sacramento. Some of the larger cities, there's always work there, especially in the design and the web area. Um, but they could start off as a median between $36,000, $37,000 to upwards of 60 and 70, depending on the where they're located. And of course, then you have to think about what the standard of life or the cost of living is at that particular point. So they're usually paid more because everything costs more. Well, like I said, be very passionate about what you do, be good listeners. I think that's always a real plus. And I always tell my students, feed your passion, look at things, pick up books, be aware of what's around in the community, what's going on. Just be in tune with life in general, what's happening, so you're aware of things you need to do or solve problems, for your clients, that way you're aware of what's happening. But and then of course hone up on your computer skills is always good, and use all those proper fingers when you're typing, because you might have to go out and do an interview, and they may test you, type this letter for me, whatever. And if you're using the Hunt and Peck method, it's a little bit slow, so we want to make sure our students are very knowledgeable, but also have a sense of how to use the computer and the proper way to use the computer for speed.